save you. Lestat did.
I'll be with him.
I know you'd figure it out. Let's see how long it holds. She looked at me at the end. God cares, Louis.
Hello, Lestat.
Hello, Louis.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, for all of you Interview with the Vampire fans, of which I am one, Interview with the Vampire showrunner and Sam Reed teased season 3 after that emotional finale. That finale, you guys, was so great. The acting was out of this world. Those are the most incredibly talented actors I've ever seen. This show is grade A, expertly done, numero uno. Sam Reed is off the chain, and I love Lestat. I love his version of Lestat. We've just scratched the surface with Sam Reed, who is an incredible actor. Showrunner Roland Jones says of the upcoming Lestat-focused season. Yes, he is an incredible actor. All of them are. This is by Sydney Buxbaum, I should say. Now, warning, this article contains spoilers for Interview with the Vampire Season 2 finale, and that's the end of it. It's called There's Nothing Else. And that's the end of it. There's nothing else. And it was expertly done. If you haven't seen it yet, run on over to AMC Plus and take it in. You won't be sorry. It took him 77 years, but Louis, played by the incomparable Jacob Anderson, finally got his groove back by the end of Interview with the Vampire Season 2, and he didn't get there on his own. The intense, emotional finale spanned almost 100 years as Louis and Armand, played by Assad Salman, finished telling their story to Daniel Malloy, played by Eric Boscosian, but the journalist used evidence given to him by the Talamasca to prove that Armand had been lying to Louis ever since the Coven's trial in Paris. Louis believed that Armand had saved him from death, but Daniel revealed that Armand actually directed the entire trial, and it was Lestat, expertly played by the incomparable Sam Reed, who saved Louis instead. So for 77 years, Armand built their entire relationship on a lie. Lestat did not tell Louis when they were in Magnus's lair. He did not tell Louis that it was him, that he was the one who brain-effed the entire audience so that they would choose banishment instead of death, to the astonishment of everyone there. And Louis had actually seen Lestat do this before, back in another season's episode, where Lestat actually brain-effed or mind-controlled a group of soldiers. Okay? But it never struck Louis that Armand would be lying. Armand said he was the one who saved him, and Louis believed it because he had no reason to believe otherwise. He didn't know how deceitful Armand could be. Armand played him Okay? For 77 years, Armand built their entire relationship on a lie. Louis furiously attacked Armand for the betrayal and ordered him to leave. Now, armed with the truth, Louis traveled to New Orleans to finally reunite with Lestat. The two tearfully opened up to each other about Claudius, played by Delaney Hale's death, and Louis' suicide attempt. And Louis thanked Lestat for giving him the dog gift. The vampires continued to speak as the camera panned back, but viewers couldn't hear what they said to each other. However, the hug they shared as a hurricane raged outside spoke volumes, and I love the fact that a hurricane was raging outside because it made me drift back to Armand's, what he said about Lestat. You can't script a hurricane. And then there was a hurricane raging outside as Louis and Lestat reunited. The finale then jumped ahead in time. Daniel published his fictional memoir, Interview with the Vampire, even though Louis didn't want him to. And the book was publicly ridiculed by humans and privately pissed off all vampires. It's revealed that Daniel was also turned into a vampire by Armand after Louis left them alone, but both Louis and Daniel hadn't heard from Armand since then. It's my birthday today and I was eating some junk food. My son said, get off your diet, eat some junk food. So for your birthday, and enjoy your birthday. But anyway, after Daniel revealed it, that Armand turned Daniel into a vampire out of spite after Louis left them alone. But he did tell Armand not to touch Daniel. Both Louis and Daniel hadn't heard from Armand since then. So Daniel's vampiric creator is Armand. Armand is his creator. Although he didn't stick around to make Daniel his fledgling, to teach him or anything. He just did it out of spite. Turned Daniel into a vampire. The season ended with Louis challenging all the vampires angry at him for exposing their way of life to come to him. Louis was sitting there all cocky saying, come on, stop all of your talk and come on. I'm right here. All you got to do is come on over. He invited them to come and let out your frustration. What do you want to do to me? I own the night, is what Louis said. Suffice to say, a lot went down in the season 2 finale, but Reed's favorite part of the emotional episode was Louis and Lestat's long-awaited reunion. I just thought it was beautiful, he tells Entertainment Weekly, and it was. Oh, I cried. Every time I see it, I cry. Those two actors deserve awards. That was the best acting I had ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. Those two together, Sam and Jacob, AMC, the showrunners could not have put together a more perfect pair. And people they're at the beginning of Interview with the Vampire. People are like, what? Louis is, he's Creole on the show. Many would say black. I don't say black. But he's considered to be a black character. And, that's how he's treated in the script, in the scenes. That's the character he is portraying, I should say. But him and Sam together, it's like peanut butter and jelly. They went right together. And I was so pleased to know they were so close in real life. I'm sure they were surprised at how they hit it off. I mean, you don't think that you're going to find, someone that fits you perfectly, like a perfect glove. And that's Sam and Jacob. And Sam told Entertainment Weekly it was such a fantastic way to wrap up the season. There's a lot of loose ends. There's a few things you really want to find out about. But there's also a very, very satisfying conclusion. It's this beautiful journey of Louis accepting himself and finding his feet and accepting the dog gift. And also Lestat now sort of accesses his humanity a little bit as well. I know people that, I know there are fans that are probably going to rip me for this. But I do not feel that Claudia deserved to die, but however, she wanted to grill Lestat. She wanted her and Louis to burn Lestat, to make him be gone eternally, okay? No more Lestat, and Louis couldn't do it because Louis genuinely loves Lestat, and that love is reciprocated. Now, Claudia is the one who got burned and her companion. But in all fairness, Claudia did want to do the same thing to Lestat. I know she tried to legitimately leave, and he stopped her. His little friend Antoinette overheard Louis and Claudia talking about Claudia leaving it once again. And Antoinette was eavesdropping, as we found out, and she told Lestat, and Lestat said, no, I can't allow you to leave, Claudia, because I need you to stay and make Louis happy. Louis laments when you're gone. Louis is sad. Louis doesn't want to be romantic or pays any attention to me. He just lags around, lets the house go. And I need you, Claudia, to come back. We tolerate each other for our love, our mutual love of Louis. She tried to get away a couple of times, Claudia did. And the first time she came back on her own. The second time, Lestat stopped her. But she did not want Lestat coming after them. So she was like, hey, let's burn him. And Louis couldn't do it. Louis could not do it. And then as it turns out, Claudia, gets destroyed. She gets burned by the light. Now, turnabout is fair play. It is, you guys. I love Claudia's character. I do. I do. But can we really say it is unfair what the coven did to her when that was the same thing that she wanted to do to Lestat, okay? But Lestat saved Louis, did not tell Louis, and that was so unlike Lestat. But Lestat said, I gave you to Armand after their reunion. So when Louis found Lestat again in New Orleans, it's a far cry from the Lestat fans have seen throughout the series, okay? He's been living in a dilapidated house, pretending to play piano on a piece of wood while using Siri to actually broadcast the music and telling Louis that he's going on tour, but needs about 50 more years of practice first. Oh, is that all, Lestat? In season 3, he's gonna be rock star Lestat. Oh, I am so there for it because I love me some Lestat. And I kind of love a bad boy, that's why I ended up single. I just love a bad boy, a handsome bad boy. I don't love him now. I used to. Now I would prefer someone more like Louis. Louis has become. But anyway, Lestat has been living in New Orleans, okay? He lives in this dilapidated house, and he has this new fledgling who is so uncouth. You know, he looks at Lou and he goes, "Who you?" But Lestat sets his arm on fire because he wanted him to leave him and Louis alone. But he's definitely not in a good place, Reed says. Speaking of his character, Lestat, he's in probably one of the worst places he's ever been. But at least he's got Louis back. They're not back together as in a couple, but at least they're on talking terms. I know what he has been doing for that period of time. You can't always play it out. So it's complex, but it's very well plotted out. So Sam Reed is saying that he and Louis are not back like a romantic couple, okay, but they're on talking terms, and they're learning to relate to each other again, and they're learning to be friends again, and hopefully family again. But I want Lestat back, okay? I want Lestat back. Reed wanted to go even more extreme with Lestat's physical appearance in the finale, but showrunner Roland Jones had to pull him back. I always wanted to have the scars, the emaciated, full-blown special effects makeup, and the ropey skin, the actor says. I wanted to be a full ghoul, basically. And Roland, rightfully, I suppose, was like, no, it's a psychological thing. You're wounded, but it's a psychological wound. It's all of the things that you want it to be, but it's in your mind. So what they're saying is Lestat is obviously depressed in the finale when Louis comes to see him. He's living in a dilapidated house. He has this fledgling who is to be worse than Louis when Lestat first met Louis, but some people might say they act exactly the same, because Louis is more classy now. Louis learned to accept being a vampire. But Lestat's new fledgling, to me, is worse than Louis was. But anyway, because Louis basically was just trying to earn a living as a black man, and with the black man's limitations, and he had a family to take care of, as ungrateful as they were. But anyway, Sam Reed is saying that he wanted Lestat's depression to be more physically obvious. But they said no, it was more of a psychological thing, because Lestat said he could not get the image of Claudia burning, out of his mind. Lestat was the last thing that Claudia saw before she left the earth. And Lestat says he can't get it out of his mind, and Louis says he can't either, and that it's not on Lestat, that he made Lestat turn her. While Reed doesn't want to get into too much detail about what Lestat's been up to since the trial to bring about such a drastic change, he reveals that Lestat has been forced to deal with himself more. Claudia is such a huge loss, and Louis and Lestat for the next century or so will never be able to spend that much time together without bringing up Claudia, Reed says. They can't. That reunion scene, they could really only chat for 3 minutes before they're straight away talking about Claudia, and there's so much left to process there. And she's haunting them both at different times. I think perhaps Lestat would probably quite comfortably walk into the sun the same way Louis did, but this Lestat won't die. He'll just get a tan. And that's because he said he had the blood of akasha in him, which we need to learn more about on the show. In the books, we know, but on the show, they haven't covered akasha yet. But Lestat brings it up in the season finale when he said he couldn't burn because he had the blood of akasha in him. AMC has officially renewed Interview with the Vampire for Season 3, and the show will next adopt Rice's second book, The Vampire Lestat. We're following the order of the books, Reed confirms. The new season will be centered on Lestat, who is resentful of his portrayal in Malloy's book and, determined to set his story straight, becomes a rock star. Sam worked really hard for 2 years as a supporting actor, and I think Jacob is very excited to do the same thing for him and put Sam front and center. We've just scratched the surface with Sam, who's an incredible actor, Jones tell EW. So now it is time for Lestat to tell his story, just as Louis got to tell his. So now it's time for Sam to be front and center and Jacob to play a more supporting role. The showrunner knows it was maddening for Reed to constantly play other characters' perceptions of Lestat rather than the actual character, but that's finally come to an end. We gave him one scene that is objective, the scene in New Orleans, Jones said. In that moment, that's nobody's point of view. The camera's over there watching both of them, so there you go, fans. One scene so far of the real Lestat. Okay, so if you want to check out this article, I will leave the link. But that scene and the overall way Season 2 ends went through many changes before it made its way on screen. And the showrunner wanted Louis and Lestat's reunion to take place during Hurricane Katrina, but the timeline didn't add up. Plus, there were just some aspects to the scene that Jones knew would never pass muster at AMC, but the scene was taking place during a hurricane. So it's the idea that their relationship had been like a hurricane, and they're finding this moment of forgiveness and quiet and stillness amongst the hurricane, which is exactly what I thought before I read this article. I love the way that Armand had described Lestat as you can't script a hurricane, and they were reconciling Lestat and Louis during a hurricane, and they said that seemed like the way to go. But yeah, I'll leave the article, and I'm so happy this has been renewed for yet another season. I'm going to miss Claudia. I thought the actress that took over did a very fine job. I wouldn't have necessarily chosen her, but she did a really good job, and she worked out really, really well. But I am going to leave that link right now and Interview with the Vampire fans. Tell me what you think about Season 2 and that beautifully orchestrated finale. See you soon, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
The Vampire just got renewed for Season 3, and I used to pray for times like this. Some major stuff is about to go down, so if you don't want to know, favorite and check back later. They'll be adapting Queen of the Damned and the Vampire Lestat in Season 3. Some important characters have been confirmed, and I need to know who's playing my girl Akasha. I know they're going to write the hell out of her. I need to see it. In Season 3, Lestat will be resentful of the perfunctory portrayal in the trashy bestseller Interview with the Vampire, and he's going to set the record straight by starting a band and going on tour. Gabrielle de Leoncourt, Nicholas, Magnus, Marius, and those who must be kept, Akasha and Inkill, are coming, and I for one can't wait. They'll be joining Louis, Armand, Malloy, Sam, Raglan, and Fadid on a sexy pilgrimage across space, time, and of course trauma. This sounds so juicy to me. I thought I was excited before, but no, this is true excitement. At this point, I know that these writers can eat down, so I got nothing to worry about. I can just sit back and watch the drama unfold. I'm very curious about how the show is going to feel now, because this is a significant shift in the story. This news was the pickup I needed, because I'm still very traumatized by the last episode, but this gave me hope. What character are you most looking forward to? And as always, favorite and follow for more vampire tea like this.
Claudia was an unforeseen joy. A formidable fledgling. A consummate killer. A congenial companion. We were a happy trio. The wilderness that is our daughter. I see the best of my vampires.
It was never you.
Never been about me.
In the morning light, you look disappointed, like you finally
His uncle has now suddenly.
Can I cry and say that I'm sorry, Georgia?
I built a fortress round the porch outside. As long as you stay wrapped inside.
Last thing she saw on earth
Don't have to be
was him.